We are very fortunate in Winnipeg to have some terrific museums, big and small. And one of the museums that we haven't featured on our show, but we found out about, was the Winnipeg Police Museum. And it's located in the Western Portage Avenue. Joining me today is Sergeant Jack Templeman. He's with the Police Museum. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, this is a well-kept secret because a lot of people, I don't think, know that there is a police museum with all kinds of artifacts.
That's right. It hasn't been around too long, but it is slowly growing, and there is a lot of interest in the museum now.
Now, one of the things that we were talking about just in the break, you were saying that you've got motorcycles, the last of the big Harley-Davidson?
Last big Harley with the sidecar, because we used to ride them all winter long.
The sidecars, yeah, I remember those interesting ones. You found another one recently, and you're going to be renovating or fixing it up and making it...
one of the three-wheel survey cars.
Three-wheel survey car.
It will join the group.
This particular item is called the
Rio
Speedwagon, right. And I'd like to have a look at this. Now, was it in good shape when you found it, or do you have to do a lot of fixing?
No, it was very rough shape and a lot of pieces missing. And we did 3 years of restoration to put it back in that shape. It's all original. The motor and everything it's all been checked out through the factory.
That's neat. That's neat. So you take a good look at that. And, of course, I guess you can't climb on it because you want to keep it looking in good shape.
No, but we do drive it.
You do drive it?
It goes out in parades.
Really?
Yes.
Now, this was something interesting. We've got a bunch of stuff here that I want to try to get in as much as I can. This is kind of gory. I'm going to hold these up. Now, this is what I've got here are 2 pictures of men that were hung. Tell us about this, Jack.
Years ago, when they executed the murderers, they would send back a portion of the hangman's rope with the mugshot in the middle. The one in your right hand is a fellow named Jay Han who murdered a St. Boniface police officer, and he was executed in 1937. The other fellow is named Bonin, and he murdered a bank teller and then shot 2 Winnipeg policemen, and he was executed in 1928, I believe.
That's kind of scary. I mean, this is the actual rope that was around his neck?
A portion of the actual rope.
A portion of the rope. 1935. Not nice men. No. Definitely historic. These are neat. Now, these are, I mean, hats are interesting because you can go back in history. These are around 1900, I would imagine?
They were around 1900. They lasted until 1950, June of 1950. They're based on the British bobby helmets. Most of the departments originated with British-designed uniform.
I know a lot of the uniforms seem to take over from the British,
yes,
the British hats. This also, I would say, looks very British, doesn't it?
Very British.
This is there's a name for it. I don't know what it is.
It's a baton.
The baton, but this is what they used. They didn't have guns,
right? So
they carried this, and actually it's quite heavy, isn't it? It's a very
very solid.
Very solid. You get hit with this, and you know it, right? And also, I like this here. Leg irons. Is this what this is?
Leg chains.
Leg chains. Okay. Now, when were these used on the men?
This was many years ago. Very seldom can we find record of the police using them, but they did have them. The police used the handcuffs, but some prisoners, if they were runners, would wear the leg chains.
They slapped the old leg chains on so they couldn't get away. Another one you said is not, they were never issued by the police department, but get a load of this, folks. What is it? Thumb cuffs. Thumb cuffs. And you could tighten this. I don't want you to do that on this, just in case, but, whoops, I did that automatically. But it's serrated so that you wouldn't want to pull your thumb out of there.
That's right. It slows you down trying to get out of it.
And you said they weren't issued, but they carried them?
We have no record of them being actually issued on their clothing files, but those came from St. Boniface Police, and we understand that a number of detectives used to carry them for convenience because they were nice and small, and they certainly did the job. That's
all you need. You don't need handcuffs if you got this, do you, really? I mean, that'll do the trick. You do have handcuffs along. What are the differences in the ones that you have there?
There's just a variety. The early...
oh, this is cute. Okay, show us. We'll take a look
Come
at this
Along.
one.
It just
Come Along.
Fits on any wrist, any size. You put the T together. You turn the chain down until you get the right size, and then you say, come along.
Yes, and you don't hesitate to follow.
There's another one.
This is kind of weird.
Nippers, which again are put on the wrist and then closed. and the officer holds the one handle and you come along with the other.
Okay. Another different type of handcuff. So there's a wide variety of...
Then they just went to basically handcuffs of various sizes and styles.
The Houdini style that
Right.
you could get out of there. But then there's an older one there that you've got, so there's a wide variety of...
Maltese,
yeah.
yes. These were used in the 1930s.
Okay, here's a picture I'm going to hold up. This gentleman here, you said, was wearing a vest. Now tell us the story.
In 1984, before the department was issued vests, a number of officers purchased bulletproof vests privately. Constable Donovan was one of those officers. He worked downtown. He was involved in a shootout with a drug dealer and took a full blast of a shotgun in his chest, as you can see there. Without the vest, we would have lost the
He
officer.
would have been...
There's probably no way he would have survived.
No, that's something. So after that, they got vests.
The department was getting them. I would think that may have moved them along a little quicker.
We've got some mug shots to show you. We've only got a minute left, but look at these mug shots, folks. If I can hold these up. You said this lady, poor little, she looks like a very grandmotherly type lady. What did you say? She got 4 years?
4 years for theft in 1904.
1904. But these were in the files. This is the kind of mug shot that they took, and they look pretty scary.
They do.
But listen, there's lots of fascinating things. The things that we want to know, people to phone ahead of time. Is this right, Jack?
Yes, please.
Phone ahead, make an appointment, and they'll give you tours. So if you've got a group or organization, why don't you do that? They'd love to show it. There's no cost for this, is it?
No. Oh, no.
No. Lots of fun. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.